Hi everyone, I'm Jen Roberts. I'm the president and founder of Difference Consulting, where I help business leaders and their teams change the way they think about and approach work so that they can create more engaged, empowered, and productive work environments. If you've ever noticed when you're in a meeting that everybody seems to be on their cell phones, even if they're trying to hide it under the table, it can sometimes be very obvious and distracting to the conversation that you're trying to have. Even when you go out to lunch with your coworkers or you're trying to have dinner with your family, cell phones have become a regular part of our culture. People just have them with them all the time, and it's really difficult to break the habit of looking at those phones constantly. I was watching a show with my kids the other day called Brain Games that was talking about the science of addiction, and cell phone usage came up. In fact, they even did some experiments with adults to try to reward them to stay away from their phones for 15 minutes. And out of the 10 adults in the study, only 2 people were able to avoid using those phones during that short period of time. We also watched a Shark Tank episode where the entrepreneur came in and pitched a product called No Phone that was just a plastic phone lookalike that gave people the illusion of having a cell phone without the functionality. So this is a huge problem. I went on to do a little bit more research to find out how much time people are spending on a daily basis on their cell phones, and I was really surprised to learn that we're spending almost 5 hours per day clicking through things on our cell phone. And if you're honest with yourself, it's not always work related. So some more statistics that I was surprised to find out. 61% of Americans actually sleep with their cell phones next to their bed and check their notifications in the middle of the night. And 53% of people surveyed get upset if they're unable to take their phone with them or if they realize that they've forgotten their phone when they go out somewhere. So cell phone usage can have a lot of negative implications, not only in terms of engagement, but also on our attention, on our ability to be productive throughout the day. And also, cell phone usage can cause stress levels to increase, and that can affect your ability to get quality sleep and the rest that you need so that you can be recharged and come back to work the next day. So just a few tips to think about how to dial back the usage if you find yourself wondering if you're addicted. The first thing you might want to do is to download an app that can track your usage throughout the day. So there are lots of different apps that you can research that are able to show you how you're spending your time on your phone, how many clicks and how much time you're actually using on those devices. So when you have that raw data, a couple things to keep in mind. One might be to create what I call no phone zones or no technology zones. That would be useful in a meeting if you find that your employees are sitting around using their cell phones the whole time or are on their laptops, would be to just discourage the use of that. And also when you come home for the day, to make sure that you're turning those cell phones off at a certain time of the night so that you can have quality engagement time with your family. So speaking of turning things off, the second tip I would give you would just be to turn those screens off a little bit earlier, because research shows us that as we continue to engage with our phones, it keeps our brains activated and it makes it more difficult for us to be able to go to sleep and get that rest. So make sure that you're shutting them down a couple hours before you go to bed, and also keep them out of sight and out of mind so that you're not getting those little clicks and flashes and notifications that can be so tempting. The third tip would be to just try to cut back your usage by only a couple hours a day. If you consider that we're using our phones for 5 hours per day, just imagine getting 2 hours per day of productive time back and what you would be able to do with that. So if you can monitor your usage and be able to scale it back, you're going to be able to get more done faster with less stress. So if you would like some help in being able to take a look at how you're spending your time and energy, please click the links below. I'd love to schedule a complimentary discovery call with you and help you be able to create more engaged, empowered, and productive work environments.